Hey, we're Gail and Jamie from the band Laurel Maddock, and this is our podcast, A Different Road.
On this episode, we're talking about our 1 year anniversary as Laurel Maddock.
So we released our first single, I Do, 1 year ago. So we've been Laurel and Maddock, well, technically for a little over a year because it took time to create that single and everything. But we released our first single, so it's at least the anniversary of our first single. And then we released 3 other singles last summer and 3 this summer.
Yep.
1 whole year of Laurel Maddock music out in the world. So we just thought we'd do a special episode. Usually we, feature each of our songs, but we just thought we'd do a special episode to kind of talk about what's happened in the last year and what we hope happens in the next year.
Yeah. Run us down on the last year. What's the numbers on last year?
Oh, yeah. So, like I just said, so we've released 7 singles so far. They're all on all the streaming things, if you haven't listened to them.
All of the streaming things.
Yes. Obviously, this podcast, which is on, depending where you're watching it or listening to it, it's on Spotify and YouTube.
Yeah.
We've done several lyric videos, 5 to be exact. We've even done 1 vlog.
Hey.
Which is up on our YouTube channel. If you'd like to know what we do outside of music, that might be cool to check out. We've done 4 living room sessions, which are like acoustic versions. I think there might be 1 non-acoustic version, but like pared down versions of our singles. So
boiled down to the core of what it stands.
Exactly. Yeah. And then we've done 3 music videos. We have music videos for I Do.
Yep.
Dear Fear.
She Says.
And She Says. I was going to say, this is a good test of whether or not we remember the names of our own songs.
We passed.
Yes. So, hoping to release some new music videos in the coming months.
Yeah, we got all kinds of brainstorms brewing on that. On the lyric videos coming out soon.
Yep. Of course, more podcast episodes.
Absolutely. More content on Instagram.
Yep. And... yeah, of course, new music eventually.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Nothing like super in the works right now. We're writing some things.
Yeah.
Nothing's in production right now, but yeah, of course there'll be always new music. So I guess we're already kind of doing this, but kind of goals for the year or so ahead. I mean, yeah, more music, more things on all the things. I mean,
you heard it here.
There's so much to list all the time. You know what I'm talking about. And performing one of these days might be nice. Yeah, starting a band in a pandemic made it a little hard to perform. So now that, depending on where you're at, we're fortunate where we're at that things are pretty good, pretty safe. So, I mean, safe enough that people are performing again. So, might be cool to do that one of these days.
Oh my gosh, imagine that.
Yeah. We've both, performed over the years as, we've been musicians most of our lives, but we haven't performed together as Laurel and Maddock, so that would be very cool. And let people hear our stuff in person.
Yeah. I feel like we've learned a lot over the last year, too.
Yeah.
When it comes to, like, this entire process and how much it takes to really put this all together. It's tough.
Yeah, that's the thing about chasing a dream. Is it's certainly not easy. As if you're a dream chaser, hopefully you are. Hopefully everyone's a dream tracer. That's hard to say.
A dream tracer.
Dream chaser. Hopefully everyone is at some point in their life. But yeah, there's certainly chasing dreams comes with blood, sweat, and tears for sure. Like Jamie was saying when we were talking about this podcast kind of earlier today, Jamie was saying that, I just kind of want to make music, but there's all these other things you have to do as especially as an independent artist. Like we have to market ourselves and, it's, what's the point if no one listens? Like we want to put it out there so that other people connect with our music in this world. So yeah, learning the business end has been interesting.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I said I just want to make good, bad, ugly music, whatever it is. I just want to keep making it. That's like the passion side.
Yeah.
And then to kind of clump it all together, be like, oh, we gotta like ship this out somewhere. We gotta like get this going. We gotta get people to listen to that music we keep creating. So.
The making the music part is really kind of the easy part. I mean, especially for Jamie, who has been a long-time songwriter, and deciding to put it out in the world, that was the easy part, and finding a producer wasn't the easy part. We have a friend from many years ago who's our producer, so that stuff was all the easy part.
Yeah.
He's great, by the way. If you need a producer,
he's amazing.
Shout out to Carl Bonner. So, and even like, I think that's actually been one of the highlights of this year is we've gotten to work with so many people who are already in our lives as fellow creatives. Like our graphic designer, if you've seen our logo, is a friend of ours. The photography that's up on all of the streaming platforms right now is a friend of ours. So, and as we mentioned, our producer. So it's been really great to collaborate with these other creative people we have in our lives. So that was an easy part too, and definitely a highlight of the whole process. Once we had our music ready, it was like, well, now how do we put it out there? How does that work?
Yeah.
Just like, how do you distribute it? How does one get music on Spotify? Like,
right. The amount of videos that we've watched on YouTube, the amount of revenue we've created for others. Yeah. Right, on just like YouTube and
that's true.
Which is different. What's better? What also, platform?
Like other creatives that we've used.
Yeah.
Like it's not just hello Spotify, please take our music. Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely a lot to learn. And for me, some things that I had to learn. Jamie is very good with, because we would record ourselves and then send it off to production. So Jamie's very good with. Using Logic Pro and all of the recording technology, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So that's all a different world to me. So I'm learning a little bit here and there, but that was hard for me. And I'm also a classically trained musician, and I haven't been a songwriter. So just figuring out how to be a songwriter and how to be a pop musician has been a challenge for me. And then also working together.
Yeah.
We've been together for a really long time, so at least we had that relationship established. But working together with a romantic partner is a totally different ball game. So it took us a little bit to find that groove. There's some hard moments there, and also some wow, this is really working well moments.
Yeah, so. That whole creative process and finding the flow together. Yeah. It's just finding time and then being like, oh, we both feel like creating music right now. And we're both feeling this type of music, or we're both feeling this type of beat or feeling behind it. It's like so much has to kind of sync up in that arena. Right. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, I'm tired, I don't feel like it. And you're like, oh, I'm ready to go. All right, let's make some music. And then other times I'm like, all right, I got this song stuck in my head. Let's get together. And you're like, oh, well, I got this and this. And so having it all kind of find a rhythm is tough.
Oh, absolutely. And finding that balance too. Music is one of our top priorities, if not the top, but we still need to have a social life and, see friends and family. And we both work, of course, because indie musicians, it's not paying the bills. Maybe someday, but
there you go.
But yeah, finding that balance too of how to make music your top priority while you still have a million other things to do. That's definitely a challenge. So if you watched our first podcast episode, we talked about kind of the history of Laurel Maddock and us a bit, but just to kind of recap if you're new, or, to tie in how this all came to be. We both have been musicians our whole lives pretty much. And as I said, I'm classically trained, so I grew up taking, piano and voice lessons and a couple of other things. We were both in a lot of children's choirs and things like that. And my bachelor's degree is in music. But like I said, I've always been, I don't know, a little intimidated by pop music, even though, I don't know, is it easier to write? That's arguable, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
So, when you open a piece of, Beethoven sheet music, of course it looks more complicated, but I don't know, personally, I think it's not the easiest transition. I don't know, going from, it's a major shift in my brain personally to kind of, figure out how to be a pop musician. So, but anyway, that's my background. So I was intimidated by, considering pop music for a long time. And then Jamie is here writing music all these years.
Yeah. And songwriting's always been a part of kind of how I function and how I process through emotions and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice to combo that. But then it was difficult to be like, wait, you want the key of this? Wait, you want what else?
Yeah.
Just play it. You just, it's not like hear it and then just kind of play along with it or make something up as we go. And it's just so funny that this, it's like this, you know, I'm one of those like used car.
Like, oh, I know what you're saying.
They can just be like, just play along. This should be fine. You know, and you're like, well, actually, I have a couple of things on my checklist. I want to make sure, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like compartmentalizing for you to understand the structure of it.
Right.
I'm like, what? It's just like, you know, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
well, it goes here and then it goes there. And then we'll have like a little short section and then we'll do this. It'll be fine.
Another, you know, challenge of working together that our backgrounds definitely cross paths at some points, but we also have very different backgrounds to some degree too.
Yeah.
So, figuring that out has been interesting, but I think we're getting there.
Yeah. And I feel like it was like a whole bunch of concerts, you know, 2018, 19.
Yeah, for sure.
We were just like in this like festival and concert going like mindset of like, all right, we're going to do this, we're going to see this, we're going to hear these people, we're going to go that, right? And it just got into our heads like, oh, we could do this.
Yeah.
Oh, this looks like fun. Like, this looks amazing to share this music, to make music for others, and to be creative together. So I feel like that got us into the mindset of being like, we should do this.
Yeah.
Because we made a song in college together, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Years ago when we first met.
Yeah.
And again, so Jamie's been playing guitar for years and singing and writing songs, and that was definitely my first walk down that path, as far as I can remember anyway. So I wrote this, of course, very complicated like piano intro and Jamie turned it into this really cool pop song. Maybe we'll release it someday.
Hey, there you go.
Or at least maybe we'll rework it. That'd be kind of cool to go back and revisit it all these years later and I don't know, take it apart.
Yeah.
Rework it.
It was definitely an independent like togetherness on that. Cause
for sure.
I had the chord structure and then I was like, oh, I need a complicated classical sounding song.
Yeah.
She was like, okay. What do you mean?
Yes.
I was like, just like a lot. Like,
yep.
Right? And I like gave, like kind of had the big picture, blurry picture, and then handed it over, and then you created this using theory and all kinds of complicated musical.
Finale, oh my gosh, I was like, what was it called? If any of you out there are,
Finale.
music theory, I don't even know if Finale still exists. I haven't used it in years. But anyway, that's what I would use back then and when I was in college for writing music and theory things. So maybe some people have heard of it, I'm sure. So and then fast forward like well over a decade later, we had, Jamie had continued to write, but we hadn't worked on anything together. But yeah, like Jamie was saying, definitely some things, some wheels that started turning that were like, maybe we should do this. And yeah, I can remember some pretty distinct moments. Like actually, so I've been I'm from Central Pennsylvania, so I have to like some country music. I know country music has such like a, you either love it or you hate it kind of thing. But anyway, I really like Carrie Underwood, one of the few country artists I'm really into, and she, I think had taken some time off and came back and performed her new song Cry Pretty at one of the award shows, and it just rocked me. The emotion and passion in her performance, it just like chokes me up, like thinking of it. It just, I was like, I want to do that, I want to feel that emotion and share that with other people, because you could see, how the audience was responding to it as well. So that was a very defining moment, and like, okay, maybe I need to try doing this. It's if you can, I think it was like the American
Music Awards
or American Country Music Awards,
something.
Try to find it if you can. Sorry, that's not very helpful information, but it's an incredible performance if you're into that.
You know how to Google look it up.
Yeah, you use the World Wide Web. And then what else? Yeah, we went to our first music festival, See Here Now, in Asbury Park, and seeing that wide range of, because there's so many stages there and of different artists performing throughout the day. So you have the small stages up to the headliners, and so seeing this incredible range of musicians in their kind of music they're doing, and in their, I don't know what the right word is. I don't want to use fame, but in their being knownness. like it was just really cool to see that wide range and that there's room for everyone, I think. So if you want to be a creative, chase that dream. You know? And we've been going to so many more concerts too. You know, I think that helped inspire us too. I neither one of us really grew up going to a lot of concerts. I think for both of us, our parents didn't want to shell out the money for them.
Yeah.
And also, I think both of our parents had concerns about like if they were safe, probably. You know.
Classic.
Yeah. So neither one of us went to a lot of concerts growing up, and so we kind of finally started prioritizing.
So that taught us to go to more now.
So what's next for Laurel and Maddock, you
What is
say?
next?
I think we actually touched on some of this stuff earlier, but yeah, what's some other things we'd like to do? Maybe some covers here and there might be cool. Yeah, maybe a few covers. That's always fun.
Yeah.
It's nice to hear stuff that people, as a music listener, you know, hear some stuff that people might find familiar, I should say.
Yeah. Like, we know that you're singing along to our songs at this point, which is great, and we appreciate that. But maybe sing along to us playing other songs.
Yeah. And it's cool to put your own spin and interpretation on someone else's song that's really touched you, inspired you. So
right. And adding, like, guitar solos where there shouldn't be any. I think that's really important.
Totally. Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
What else? Probably a website.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Website. Just as a way to house everything.
Yeah.
The go-to place to share more information.
Another avenue to connect with those of you out there.
Yeah.
And make it easier for you to find all of our things.
Right, and set it as your homepage instead of Google. I don't know. It's your decision.
Maybe tour dates on there someday.
There we go.
Dreaming big.
There we go.
Maybe other band members at some point.
Oh my gosh, imagine that.
That'd be cool. Yeah. I have dreams of being a bassist, but my priority will always be singing and keys. So maybe a bassist one of these. You play the bass too, but
it's true.
But we only have so many arms, so
it's correct.
And of course, like we said, performing in more music one of these days would be awesome.
Yes, more
Stay
music. Stay
tuned.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Speaking of which.
Yeah?
Check us out.
What? No way. Where?
We're on the gram.
What?
The book. Yeah, please check us out on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah.
TikTok as well.
There you go.
Oh my gosh, where else are we? Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, YouTube.
And thanks for tuning in, not only to this episode, but to other episodes. Thanks for listening, downloading, buying, whatever it is.
If you've been along for this year-long journey, thank you so much. And if you're new, also thank you so much. We really appreciate everyone who's, hung out with us, checked out our music, and all the other things that over this last year mean so much to us.